till I got to college, and it was different. So I went to Morgan State on a softball scholarship, and I was able to, the following year later, there was a new coach, Coach Beasley. He knew I played basketball because I would go play open gym all the time. So he's like, I want you to play for me. I'm like, I'm on scholarship for softball, and my hand was broken at the time. And he was like, but I can take my hand splint on and off. So he was like, can you come to open gym tomorrow? I'm like,
tape it up.
Coach, my hand is broke, but yeah, sure.
Tape it up.
So my coaches ended up working it out, splitting my scholarship, and I played 2 sports in college too.
Dope.
So
Leaving Cali, leaving the Bay though. What was your initial thought? Because again, you wasn't just a state over, or you time change different. So what was that like?
Well, first of all, that summer, me leaving to college, I played for the USA team, baseball, USA team.
Again, baseball. We're not talking about softball. Soft pitch or slow pitch. You throwing overhand.
Throw overhand. I pitch overhand.
That's dope.
Okay,
how fast?
75. 75, and then my curveball is about 72.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that summer, so I graduated. I graduated high school. As soon as I graduated, I walked off the stage, got on a plane, flew to Boston for the USA tryouts.
Okay.
I was
That's
there.
crazy.
I was there for like 3 days. Came back home. So that was like May. That June, I get a call. I made the first. Was that? Yeah, I made the first tryout. Okay. Yeah. So no, I take that back. That was the second tryout. I made the team. That's when I got the call in June. I made the team. So I had to fly out. Went to Boston. We were in Boston for about a week. Practice. We left to Japan first. Played in the first the World Series. I'm 18 years old.
That's crazy.
Summer before I'm leaving to college.
You get to go to Japan.
I was the only black person in the tournament. So there was like...
Wait. Not on the team, but in the whole like...
USA tournament.
Period.
Yeah. So there was Canada, Australia, Chinese Taipei, India... what other teams? I think there's another country I can't remember right now, but
That's crazy.
The only one.
That's super dope.
This is the summer before I leave to college. Go to Japan for a week, come back to Boston for 4 days, leave and go to Canada for a week. We won the World Series, the first ever Women's World Series.
Sick.
They named me the best female pitcher in the world out of ERA of 0.00. Come back home for like 2 weeks, and then I had to go away to college.
Gotta go. Grow up fast. Grow up fast. How's your family feeling about all this? It happened so quick.
They were there. They were there to support me the whole time. I mean, my whole life they've been involved, very much involved. My parents ran our AAU team, Hoop Riders. Shout out Hoop Riders.
Okay.
So me getting a scholarship was my payback to them.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to pay for me anymore. It's all
blessing.
free. So I love to tell kids and the youth, like, go away to school, leave your options open, whatever it is, sports, music, education, theater, whatever it is, it's free. Because people are like, I went to Morgan State in Baltimore.
East Coast.
Why did you leave California? I said, because I can always come back home.
You can always come home.
I can always come back home.
I definitely agree with that, because leaving... It just does something to your character. You got to go through the struggles, and we know as HBCU alum, it's never perfect.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? But it's real life, and you grow up fast over there, right? You grow up fast, but I definitely will never trade my experience down there for the world either. But never. So you get to the East Coast, Morgan State. I mean, coming on campus, did you meet other people from California? Because as we know, right, you got to meet home team people.
Yeah,
quick.
You do. So I took my visit. So when I took my visit,
dope.
2 of my AAU teammates, they were on the basketball team there, Sharonda and Candace. They went to Vallejo High, Solano, and then Morgan. But they played basketball, so my first year, I didn't play basketball. I just played softball. And so I knew them. And then on the softball team, you know softball, like we have a lot of West Coast.
Yeah.
So I had like my roommate, she was from Oregon, but Went to school in California. One of my shout out Carolina. She's from Oakland.
Dope.
So we had some Cali people. So when it came to the Mexican food,
you got to get your little fixes in.
Had to get our fixes in.
Taco
Tuesday. They know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. That's what's up. So, your overall experience in the East Coast and playing ball there. What about the game atmosphere? Let me ask you that, though, because I know mine down south was crazy. So I wonder what the East Coast game atmosphere was like, because ours is just off the scale. So
it's
what about
different.
y'all?
Like I'm the type of person, I like to go to different places for open gym, open run. So I would go in the streets in Baltimore, like on the playground, outside,
hooping,
in the hood, hooping. Like, where Melo at? Where he at? I'm trying to hoop there. But yeah, Dante Green is from
Shout
Baltimore.
out to Tay, man.
We'll hoop with him and his peoples. Karan's overseas, and so I got
KD.
a chance to like really hoop with some real hoopers.
Yeah, that's
on the East Coast.
Facts.
Shout out to Tiny. She played on my team in college, and she's from New York, so it's like she came with flavor, and her game was dope. So it's a completely different game, the East Coast to the West Coast. Like, we're spoiled.
That's what's up. Man, before we get into what you're doing next, I'm definitely going to throw a shout out to, all the people that helped me get this podcast going. Blueprint Events, Dope Stone, Jewelry, bracelets. I got a bracelet on my boy. Oh, yeah, new gear alert. Born to Lead family, my boy Dion, man, out of Fresno, man. Appreciate you, Dion, for taking care of your boy. Just everybody, man. D's Word of Mouth Catering. Just appreciate everybody who support me and just kind of listen to the podcast, but also just entrepreneurship, right? Through this last COVID year, man, everybody's trying to get their grind on, but let's be consistent in our hustle, right? And keep going, but also support each other faithfully. And I appreciate everybody for that. But now, this current day and time, you got some stuff working, right? So, again, I've seen you on the sidelines. I see you getting interviews with the Sac Kings. Seeing the gym working with the Kings and Junior Kings. So, what you up to right now? What's next? What's popping?
So I started doing the interviews with the Kings back when I was a freshman in college, and that's brought me a long way. A lot of opportunities to bring me to the opportunity now with the publicity agent.
Okay.
It's a media outlet. It's not a public relations firm where we represent any clients, but we're for the Black voice.
Okay.
We're culture, pop culture, diversity. We cover sports, entertainment, politics, you name it. But it's gonna be a place where you can be you, but we're still gonna give you that information. So. That's next. That's coming in August, and I will be doing a podcast at the Funky Chicken. The Funky Chicken is a clothing store in Fairfield in the Solano Mall. Same thing. Artists are going to come through, athletes. Dope. It's going to be, you'll also be able to join in. So if you're walking past the store, you won't be able to hear it if you're walking past, but you'll be able to see it.
Okay. That's what's up. Hey.
That's coming up as well. I'm really, really excited about that. And I've been coaching.
So, coaching what age level and how's that going right now?
I took my talents to Little League Baseball and 6-7-year-old basketball.
Ooh, patience. So how's that? How you feeling about that right now? What's the motivation behind that?
Well, one, I used to do basketball camps. I did work with the Junior Kings and was one of the coaches for them. I've done Jason Thomas camps, Bobby Jackson. But now I have a little one of my own.
Right.
Shout out Anya Banya. She's 6 and plays guitar, drums, and she's playing baseball. Well, we just finished baseball season. Now basketball season started, but I did not want to coach that age at first. I didn't. I'm like, no, she can have her own coach, and I'll just work with her, I'll help the team. I just want to help. That's it.
Got her.
But they weren't going to have a season because nobody stepped up to coach. I said, oh, no, I'm not letting that happen. They're going to play. So my team, the Little League team, Sassoon American Little League, we railroad storage. We had a really great season. I was proud of the kids from start to end. And my main goal is really for them to learn the game. Have fun, of course, but learn the fundamentals.
Please teach it.
So now I'm coaching basketball. There's 6 and 7. Yesterday was our first game. Never met the team. We didn't have a practice. The league just said, this is your team, first game. So now I'm like, oh, I'm going to have fun coaching these kids.
You got to have some patience, too. I know that.
Definitely. It's going to take a lot.
That's what's up. How rewarding is that for you right now, though?
It's very rewarding because just as a player and being able to give my knowledge to the youth. One, they're trying to cut a lot of sports out. So there's not a lot for the youth to do now. Besides be on their phones. And it's important for them to know technology just because that's the new era, but it's very important to have real social skills.
Yep.
Social media is exactly that. Social media. It's not social skills. You're not socializing. So I feel like any sport or team camaraderie that you bring that along with you in life. So I'm teaching not just the game of basketball, the game of baseball, but life lessons as well. And it makes you think, puts you in situations to where it makes you think.
So is this the start of something new, longevity-wise? Is it going to evolve as your little one gets older, or is there some type of, what's in the plans for you as far as the coaching aspect of both sports, baseball, basketball?
I think it's definitely the start of something new as far as coaching. I have coached before. I've coached a high school team. But now I have time because I feel like if I don't give the kids that time, it's not fair to them. So now I have the time to give to them, and it's something I really love and enjoy doing. So as she gets older, I will continue to coach her, but once she gets a certain age, then I want somebody else to coach her, and I'll just train her, my daughter. If sports is what she wants to do. If not, I'm going to pay somebody else to teach her what I don't know because she's going to get it.
That's what's up. I'm not sure if I know. I got to ask you, so you a Warriors fan then? Or what's the basketball team outside of being a KD, LeBron fan? What's the team that you root for?
Outside?
Of being a LeBron fan. Or if it's Lakers now, is that what it is?
No, I'm never a Laker fan. I'm never a Miami fan. I'm never a Ohio fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
Okay, so what team is?
But if I had to choose a team, I'm a little biased, towards the Kings, of course, because I cover their games the most. Okay. So I get to see them grow all these years.
All right.
And so I have a soft spot for the Kings, but I got it.
So go what?
Steph.
Okay. So it's all right. So let me ask this though.
Steph.
What's next for the Warriors? What they look like? What they do going into this next season? How are they kind of outside of health?
Yeah, because the Warriors never lost it. Besides health, they never really. The Warriors. One thing I enjoy watching them play because they have fun.
Yes,
they have fun. There's not one just like. Of course, we know Steph is a star. We know Drake, but there's not one star that outshadows another or the team. So.
It's very contagious.
So
the atmosphere is very entertaining, and it's a pleasure to watch because everybody touches the rock. Yeah. Now, what you do with it, who does what, we all know, right? Who's a scorer, who's a defender.
We know that.
The ball moves, but definitely interesting to see what they do, especially all these trade talks. And so, you finna close enough to Oakland.
Yeah.
But far enough away, right?
Yeah.
What about this Dame talk? Dame to the Lakers or Dame to the Warriors, whatever. What you feel about that?
Either way for me, it's a win-win. So,
he go LeBron.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see him go to LA so LeBron can get another ring.
Oh man, you trying to get LeBron to get to that fourth one?
Yeah,
huh?
Yes, of course. Okay. I want him to be as close to Jordan as possible.
Yeah, okay, all right. I see.
I want to so bad. I want to.
I thought you were gonna say at least Oakland though. Maybe Dame back to the Oakland.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch him play.
Nah, you ain't feeling that.
But it'd be even better to see him play against Oakland.
It'd be crazy. That might be a while too. If they healthy, LeBron them healthy, that'd be a great Western Conference final.
Yep.
I gotta hit on the Kings for a minute since you did cover them though. Man, I talked about it with my boy Kenny last week.
Mm-hmm.
What we doing here, man? What we need to do that you can speak upon and give us some light on? Because it's we've been in question so long now.
And it has been. It's like every year you're like, okay, they have
a
team.
Man. Yeah.
They have a team. They don't have a coach. okay, they have a coach.
Right.
All right, we just got to make some adjustments for the team.
Right.
So it's like we get key players, we lose key players, we get key players, and now I think it just comes down to gelling together. Once they finally gel together, it's like boom, there's a trade. Something disrupts the chemistry. Right. So I would really like to see the Kings make it to the playoffs.
Right.
I do, and I think it'll be exciting for Sacramento.
Oh man, everybody's anxious, but you know, when you win Sacramento, everybody's behind you. So like
everybody, like Sacramento's fan base is amazing.
It'll get there. Yeah,
they love their team. Shout out Bobby Jackson too for getting the new head.
Yep, down it's one step closer for you.
That's exciting.
Being a female in coaching, if you were the head coach of the Sacramento Kings, what type of culture though would you implement when you get the job? Because I mean, now it's all about culture. I think a foundation and trust and buy-in. Mm-hmm. And now in women in position to get head coaching jobs on both sides, wherever they're at, no matter if it's male or female, what would you implement, or how would you kind of try to build that?
The culture of Sacramento, well, one, there's already a new arena, so that brings a lot of diversity to the area. Mm-hmm. I feel like just being in that atmosphere in the arena when you walk in, you know, they have the big screen, also the bar, and the game is going on live in front of you, so it makes you feel like you're at the bar, but you're watching the game live.
Speaking of live, shout out to DJ Eddie, Sacramento Kings DJ in the building, man. Hey, y'all better check him out, man. DJ Eddie, 360 Studio, we live, baby. But yeah, okay.
That's another thing that always brings culture to the game.
Is the music, right?
The music, hey, the music. Yes.
The music.
So that's music. You know, it's bringing that up too. Like the music really, when you have a good DJ and somebody to keep the fans going, I think it helps keep the players going as well. And just more community outreach, you know.
I think that's huge, though.
More community outreach.
When I was in high school, it used to be big. I remember I was in high school, man. It's almost 20 years ago now. But Chris Webber and Jay Will came to our school. We was like, what? Yeah. Like, they were physically on campus, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it was about. I think the outreach, though, was so key. I mean, shout out to Tay and Dante when I was working at the Boys and Girls Club. Tyreek came by. They used to come by. I was like, look, man, I need y'all to come by for the kids. I remember this. We had a fashion show in the Thomas Middle School. Tay and JT was my fashion show. The kids, that was probably one of the dopest things ever. Like the homie Jay Gaines made shirts, Steve cut hair, but community, right?
Yeah.
Jen did makeup, Maya Dennis did dance, but it was just like everybody came. The kids, the principal loved that, and that was everybody come together.
You
right?
know what I used to love as well is when the Monarchs were here, and the combination of the Kings and the Monarchs, they supported each other
constantly.
Outside of supporting each other on the court and at the games, like community events, and that made Sacramento like we're the capital.
It was not just everybody says California, they say LA. No,
yeah, there's more to California than just LA.
I definitely agree with that.
And I love Gavin Newsom and what he's doing as well. Like he's a young face.
He's doing differently.
He's different, yeah.
Definitely different. Shout out to Danielle Villion, Ruthie Bolton, all of them, Demaya Walker. I mean, so many people, man. Pal, the WNBA was dope. Yeah, Ruthie is such a humble lady, and her story is amazing. Ruthie, you on it? You got to get on here with me live. I mean, I know we talk all the time, but she's definitely an amazing person and just so humble. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you can have a good spirit around Ruthie, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, Ruthie she's amazing.
She's dope.
And she's somebody that I grew up watching too. Her and Tisha and
Tisha's cold. Tisha was tough.
True point guard.
She was tough.
And I remember when I was in the 4th, 5th grade, there was a camp down in Sassoon at the YMCA, and she came there, and I'm like,
that's big time.
That's Tisha Penichero. And then I end up covering her games, to talking to her face to face, and everything like that. So they were amazing. And Rebecca Brunson, dope.
Killer.
I used to love
walking double.
What?
Easy.
Love watching her play.
Becky was cold.
So yeah, that is, I think, another thing that I would want to see back here in Sacramento.
That culture, though.
Another WNBA team.
Yeah, I just saw. I think somebody got permission out there in the Bay Area to try to keep doing the word. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They trying to. Yeah, they got something passed. They said they're gonna go forward and try to make that happen in the Bay with the WNBA team.
I mean, they're taking all the other sports out.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was
something.
So, speaking of Bay Area, I hope you're a Niners fan, right?
No.
Oh my God.
I do cover the Niner games though. I love covering their games, but I grew up a Raider fan. My parents, my dad, my uncles, cousins, season tickets, Raiders, and the Raiders have the best fans, hands down. I don't care where you go.
So, in that, you've been to a game, I take it.
Yes.
How crazy, because I have never been to a Raiders game. I've always seen people know I win or that went, but I'm like, how wild is it? Like, I've seen videos and footage how hectic it can get, but once you're in there, how crazy is that?
Like, you better not have on.
That's what I thought.
The other team's colors.
That's what I thought.
I 1 year, so my I'm a Raven fan too.
Yeah, I was like, can I see you repping Baltimore?
I like the Ravens.
Okay.
I do. Ray Lewis was like him and Ed Reed.
They different.
Very much. Yep. And my daughter's dad he used to play for them. So one year they came out and played the Raiders, and I had on my Ravens jersey.
Wow.
And they were like, boo, in my face. Boo, boo, you lucky you're cute. I'm like, I don't understand. Wow. You guys don't understand right now. And I have a cousin that plays for the Falcons. I did see
that though too, right?
So, but they didn't play the Raiders. They played the Niners. Yeah. So
that's what's up.
I can wear my other team's jerseys.
You making plans to go to Vegas and see them or what?
Definitely.
That stadium looks crazy though.
Yeah.
It looks wild though.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to get there. I want to cover some of their games.
So in saying all that, like, how does that make you feel? You get to cover these teams you actually watch. Like, I ain't think about that till right now. Like, how does that's a huge accomplishment for you to actually be in the environment now, covering these sports teams and athletes who you saw on TV or looked up to, or just it come full circle for you.
Like, imagine, I'm pretty sure you looked up to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right, growing up. Imagine making it to the
actually NBA. Mitch Richmond, but to the Rock, Sacramento Kings.
Mitch. Imagine growing up watching him and then boom, you make it to the league and his locker is right next to yours. Like,
no words.
Like, it's like I grew up idolizing these people. Not really idolizing, but watching them and mimicking my game after them and things like that. And I'm right here face to face with them, interviewing them. Like, I did an interview with LeBron James, and I've interviewed him, a couple different times, but the last time I interviewed him, it was just like, because I talked to him about something else other than basketball. We talked about his I Promise School, and his face was just lighting up about something that he loved outside of basketball. Actually, that's another thing. One of my segments on the Publicity Agent is going to be called Off the Court. So, talking to, different athletes and entertainers about the things that they have going on outside of their careers, their careers.
It's a lot of athletes that do a lot of stuff that doesn't get the mainstream plug unless it's like on a huge scale, like a school or something like that.
Right.
But a lot of these dudes are actually giving their time and their funds to the community or to a certain thing. Some guys like to keep it behind the scenes though, too. Though. They don't want their name because they just want to keep it. They know that their heart's in the right place.
Or like like Dame, he does music. We know Facts. LeBron has a list of things that he does. Venus and Serena Williams, they actually designed one of the dental offices in Natomas some years ago. Yeah, like nobody knows that,
wow.
So I kind of want to get that out there,
Yeah, but because they deserve their props, their flowers though, for that, because it didn't have to be done. Keep it real, right? Like, as we know, their money is their money, but again, when you give to somebody else, or as we say, bless somebody else, that should be still, applauded for that and give some type of gratitude, because they don't have to do it at the end of the day, right? But it's a blessing to help somebody else out in need. And I never knew that, like I said. So I'm like, well, they doing business up here, but that's definitely dope.
That's one thing, and that's going to be in the Publicity Agent called Off the Court, one of the segments. So Robin Roberts, she was another one.
She's dope.
Yeah.
I've always watched her though. So
yes,
that's crazy.
I interviewed her when I was young. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, she wrote a book and was going around promoting her book. Her and even Keke Palmer. Like, finding out she was young, 13, and she wanted to go to a HBCU for at least a semester to get that experience and things like that. Like, HBCUs. So
how do you feel about that right now? The renuance of more attention. One, I like the attention being brought to HBCUs who need more support, but now some athletes are taking that leap and saying, I'm gonna commit there. What's your take on that? Because
we've never really gotten the recognition that we deserve. especially when it comes to sports. Like, I've had so many conversations with top D1 athletes that went pro, and what they don't realize is if all the African American athletes went to a HBCU, how the tables would turn.
Yeah.
Because the African American athletes are that sport, bring the money to that school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what HBCUs are lacking, is the funds. And I think it's very, very huge that Deion Sanders is coaching at JSU.
And outside of Deion, it's a lot of other pros who are in that, like
time.
Lindsey Hunter was at Mississippi Valley State. I mean, just Darius Rice was at Mississippi Valley's assistant over there. You know what I'm saying? It's different people at those schools. I see Reggie Theus is at Bethune-Cookman now but I think it's the publicity also. And don't quote me on this, but I believe I saw something that said a lot of the athletes started at HBCUs years ago, but then once the big school started, again, that money talks, right? I'm going to pull one of you guys over here and then start pulling more. And, of course, we want to.
And sometimes it happens the opposite way. Like, you have these huge D1 athletes at these huge schools, they might get in trouble. So they have to come to a HBCU. Jacoby Jones, he went to a D2 HBCU.
Jacoby Jones. God, he killed us in the Super Bowl.
Didn't we?
Oh my God.
We did.
Oh, my gosh.
And you see what he did.
Sick, yeah.
Clearly.
Sick.
But, he played basketball and football at a D2 HBCU.
Yeah.
So it's like every time anybody that I know of that went to a HBCU, it's like, give us our prize.
That support, it's like it's an unsigned thing, right? Like we got to root for everybody if they're doing all the time.
And then it comes down to that, the real HU or Morgan versus Woon. But overall, the bigger picture,
we're
rooting for everybody. And you have people like Diddy and Lala and all these other people outside of sports that did go to HBCUs that make it popular.
Right.
Of course, Howard is huge.
Some of the,
Like, who doesn't know about Howard's homecoming?
Right.
But you have some of the bigger names that went there.
Right.
And I think that once these up-and-coming athletes start going to the HBCUs, it's going to change the game.
Right. I think now with them being able to get paid a little bit too now with the following, they can make some money and they can probably not go to the big school there to still make money off of whatever they're doing, the likeness, whatever, at the HBCUs, but then also bring awareness. But, Deion definitely is trying to set the bar high with the combine for the football coming up next year. He says he's going to do that for them. It's going to be a delight to see, but also I think the media hype now is getting even more where it should be, right? Because we got to get on TV.
Right.
We got to get on TV.
We do. And that's what they're doing, like ESPN is doing right now with...
I saw every weekend, I know it was COVID, but it was like every season, whatever game they had, it was an HBC football game on there, like every weekend. Like prime, not ESPN 3.
No, right, exactly. Like our games will be on ESPN 2, ESPN U. Like, what? No, we don't want ESPN.
Right.
Or like even with, them putting Marie Taylor, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, give us our exposure, but not just give it to us because we deserve it.
So my thing with that was like, how they did it probably I think was a little abrupt. But if let's make sure the reason is genuine, not just to make us feel good, like we're doing for you. No, she's been in the game. It's a lot of dope black women in that broadcast game. They're gonna keep killing it. But also, it's like now just people can see we can do multiple things. We can speak clearly. We can code switch. We can dress the part. We can be appropriate. Also, we can relate because talking to some of my friends who are in that business, they're the ones that get the interviews that are relatable. That's why you got interviews probably because you're relatable. You can speak to talk, speak to speak. But then also, so I definitely
And you know what? A lot of times, because I played sports, so I understand the game. I've been around football, baseball, basketball, tennis, whatever.
Yep.
So I can relate. And when I do cover these games, I'm not sitting up with a notepad, taking notes down because I'm in the game. Like I know the game. So when I'm in the locker room, I capture the attention of the player that I'm interviewing versus I see how the other reporters, they don't really, they might ask them something stupid about something that had nothing to do with the game, and you could just tell all over their face, like,
But now the funny thing is now is looking at all the athletes' responses. Like you can see the whole facial expression change. Or now the memes pop up and go. It's just like athletes aren't taking that lightly anymore. They're not just answering any questions and not just giving. They're giving sarcastic answers back or not saying nothing at all. And keeping it real blunt, which is like, okay, now what are y'all gonna do? But if they rock with you, you get an answer.
Marshawn, shout out Marshawn.
Here, so he don't get fined, man. Hey, Skittles, man. Hey, speaking of Marshawn, though, before you get out of here, we'll talk about him, and at the end, I'll give you something else to talk about. But again, I didn't know he was so tapped into the community. Yes. I didn't know, I watched all of Najee Harris's little documentary. Like, their story is crazy. Like, that's super dope. Like, Beast Mode really has been that off the court. Like, since he retired, he's still working in the community and grinding, and that's just. And that's crazy. Yeah,
that is huge of Marshawn. It's not like you see him out there in the streets like that, but he's doing this, he's doing that, and he came into, obviously he loved football, but after a while, I'm pretty sure the politics of things started to try to take over, and he didn't allow that. So
he's always been his own
loyal
person, right?
His own person and loyal, and stay down, and that's huge, and I think that he's setting the bar high for other professional athletes to do.
What he say?
Same.
Save your chickens. He tell him I save your chickens, man. Don't play around with it, man. So before we get out of here, in basketball term we call it triple threat, right? So I'm gonna need your triple threat, right? Like just if it's life, basketball, whatever you can give advice to anybody, anyone in your field of work or in sports. Just give me your 3 things right now you want to take away from.
I will say. A peace of mind is huge. Peace of mind. So whatever it is that you're doing, you're trying to accomplish, take time every morning, meditate, work out, and write some goals down. That's huge. Cause that's huge for just self-care. Because you can't be successful without taking care of
mental
yourself.
Health. Yes.
Right. And then I also believe have an open mind. And be able to take in different ideas and criticism.
That's been tough. I know for us growing up, but we're learning it though. I'm definitely still getting better at it. I'm definitely getting better at it, but we gotta do it.
I think we all are, you know, and just keep room open for knowing that you don't know it all. Facts. Like you can always learn something new. I like to. There's certain people I like to communicate with every so often, and I like to pick their brains. Facts. Because I want to be in that spot. I don't want to take your spot, but I want to be there one day. So I'm not going to hate on you. I'm going to take notes.
We all need to do more of that. It's like really push and lean on each other or support the right way, right? I see the picture all the time, somebody with a cliff, one person holding them up, but you see the 50 holding them down. Yeah. We got to change that.
Like there's nothing wrong with supporting your counterpart, your peers. Like nothing wrong with, we do the same thing. I'm gonna support you just as tough.
Gotta be like that. Know? We all gotta win.
And it's not because I want you to support me, but that's me.
It should be.
That's my heart.
I will say it should be genuine though. If it's not in you though, then we rather not go
don't
without
do it. Yeah,
but
like,
make it genuine. It's gonna come back to us. You know what I mean? So I definitely believe that.
And because there was an example. So when I was living in Baltimore and after I graduated college, I started doing parties, and I had my 2 business partners, Trix and Zeke. Shout out Trix and Zeke, man. They're out there in Baltimore really doing their thing. And shout out Trix, your OIA Only in America brand. Go check him out. Like he has some dope clothes.
Okay.
But we did parties, and from Baltimore to DC to New York to Miami, but we all supported each other. All the promoters supported each other. And shout out Nick Storm. He used to be he's a huge marketing guru. One of my mentors, brothers. I look up to him big time. He's in New York, but he called me one time and was like, "Hey, Nish, what are the top 5 clubs, food places, DJs, whatever in Oakland?" He didn't say the Bay Area. He said Oakland, but this was at a time where the Warriors, they, popping, winning, everything. This is around when that French Vanilla Ciroc came out.
Clubs was popping.
Right. So one of my peoples that I knew through parties over there in the city, I'm like, I went to school with him. I said, I just moved back to California. I said, let me call my peoples. They should know. And he goes, you know what, that's like me calling you saying, hey, Nisha, I have these kids I'm training. What are your top 5 moves? And I'm like, I would give them to you. It's not about me. You're training the kids.
You took yourself out of the equation to be that bridge, right?
So he's like, well, I can't give you that. Like, why not San Francisco? Why Oakland? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, maybe because the Warriors are over here and they're winning, it's popping. I don't know. But little did he know this is somebody I could have put you on with. Or you could have shook a hand, made a friend for another time. Mm-hmm. You know, and maybe not this time, but another time.
You never know.
So he told me no. He wasn't going to give me the information. You know, it's cool. I know I could find out. Don't even trip. But long story short is you never know who you're talking to. You never know who can take you where in life.
Right.
And just be humble, you know? Definitely. So those are my triple threat.
That's what's up. I definitely solid, man. Like I said, in a time where, again, our youth, our community, our nation needs to hear these things and put good vibes in the air. Everybody says good vibes, good aura, whatever. You got to live that daily.
Live
really,
it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, just don't talk about it. Really live it. I like social media. That's why sometimes I literally have to take a break from social media because it's like I'm sick of seeing.
You got to get off that thing.
People getting beat up and fake people talking about
it's tough,
this,
man.
that, and the third. And I'm like,
It's tough to definitely see how our times have changed over growing up. But I definitely, again, I appreciate you, man. Also, man, for those listening, man, locally, doing my first basketball camp, man, on my birthday, July 26th, for the area, man. So, yeah, I'm trying to it's my first one with the help of my people in Sacramento. It's going to be a dope event. And, but again, it's for the kids, too, because it's something I've dreamed of doing. Now it's like, you know what, just got to go do it, Jay. So, look on the Instagram for that information if you haven't signed up right now. A few slots left. But also, just next Friday, on Saturday, 24th, man, collabing with Dope Stone Bracelets, These Word of Mouth, and Blueprint Events for another event. It's like tequila, tacos, and like cigar type thing. But again, you know, try to be, you know, we're older, so we do things more laid back, but it's a good vibe. Live music this time, it'll be dope. At the Brick House down on Oak Park again, you know, that's changed down there, right? But the patio is so laid back. It's dope. Art gallery, and it's just chill, man.
Don't they have like the food trucks
down
there too?
Down there too. But we have food and everything there too. We got tacos. So, you know, it's definitely going to be something that everybody should slide through and get a ticket now before they gone, because that's limited space for real, though. That's only a certain amount of people, but it definitely a good vibe. But I appreciate you taking this drive down the hill.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
No, it's all love, like you said. And once you get going in the mall, I'm there, whatever you need. Vice versa, we're going to shout it out on here every time if we need to. And definitely, again, I know you're going to stay grinding, no question. You're going to keep pushing and just keep the patience with the little ones on the court, because I can only imagine, man. I'm dealing with high school and college kids. It's my last 15 years, so now you got little ones again coaching, but it's a blessing.
It's, you know, the biggest part is parents being involved. When parents are involved,
the right way.
Yes,
the right way.
Right way. Like, I've seen some parents like, yo, your kid is not going to the league right now. Not tomorrow, you know.
Facts.
But that helps a lot.
Definitely.
When it comes to this coaching.
Definitely. I appreciate you. All right, y'all, man. We out. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate you, man. 94 Feet with Coach JT. Peace.